me, amigo. What's happening?
I got some new intel on the Salvadorians. They're bringing the guns in by sea and moving them out by rail. You could take out their boats and the freight train. We could put a freeze on their supply channel.
You make it all sound so professional. Blew up the wrong thing. Speak to me, amigo. What's happening?
I got some new intel on the Salvadorians. They're bringing the guns in by sea and moving them out by rail. You could take out their boats and the freight train. We could put a freeze on their supply channel.
You make it all sound so professional. Speak to me, amigo. What's happening?
I got some new intel on the Salvadorians. They're bringing the guns in by sea and moving them out by rail. You could take out their boats and the freight train. We could put a freeze on their supply channel.
You make it all sound so professional. Didn't make the head.
It's cool. Go at him twice as hard with the next one. Another pickup near that old house on the hill.
No problemo. I know the one.
Well, hay un problema. The Salvadorians are watching all our planes. Better move fast on this. Cops got eyes all over the main roads, Trevor.
package in the bag.
We got another pickup near that old house on the hill.
No problemo. I know the one.
Well, hay un problema. The Salvadorians are watching all our planes. Better move fast on this. Try to stay off the main roads, man. We don't want any more attention.
Shit, cops.
Dispatch, I have a suspect 20.
Officers report a reckless driver on East Joshua Road.
Sorry, man. I think the drop got leaked. Watch out for an ambush.
Delivery picked up. How did you not see me? What do these bastards think they are? Watch your back there, Trevor. Other vehicles coming in. Bastards are on me.
think I lost the chopper. Speak to me, amigo. What's happening?
I got some new intel on the Salvadorians. They're bringing the guns in by sea and moving them out by rail. You could take out their boats and the freight train. We could put a freeze on their supply channel.
You make it all sound so professional. Competition! Eliminated!
Well done, man. Attention aircraft. This airspace is prohibited. Reverse course now.
In the hole!
Gotta make it count, Trevor. Last one down. That's a wrap, my friend. You can bring it back in.
Trevor Phillips Industries global expansion plan right on schedule. Diversification. The only way to survive in today's shadow economy.
Are you talking to me?
I never knew there was such a demand for weapons in the Sonora Desert. Aside from my personal requirements, of course.
This is the Wild West, man. It all goes through here now. Drugs come in, guns go out.
And they say we don't export anything anymore.
We can move product from Liberty City to Mexico City and back in 24 hours.
Yet, I still can't get a pizza delivered to Sandy Shores. you piece of shit!
Okay, T. The next shop is over near the hardware store. Head over there before we get any trouble from the Salvadorians. They know that drop site.
Shit, they got the weapons!
Kill those cabrones! Okay, T. The next shop is over near the hardware store. Head over there before we get any trouble from the Salvadorians. They know that drop site.
Shit, shit, shit! I got eyes on them! The package.
You're going down. Okay, T. The next shop is over near the hardware store. Head over there before we get any trouble from the Salvadorians. They know that drop site.
sons of bitches!
Gracias a Dios. Careful, T. I think they're coming for you.
I got company. Control?
You want the good news or the bad news?
How bad can it be?
Those hillbilly local runners, they've moved in on your airfield and are using it as a base.
What? I will fucking destroy them!
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. So the good news is, my guys fitted the plane with a new carpet bombing system. Instead of a single bomb, you can now drop a chain. Just make sure you have several targets lined up beneath the plane before releasing, so we don't waste ammo.
Oh, I won't waste any. Shit! I do not like the sound of that alarm. This is what I call multitasking.
They should have listened.
Control?
You want the good news or the bad news?
How bad can it be?
Those hillbilly local runners, they've moved in on your airfield and are using it as a base.
What? I will fucking destroy them!
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. So the good news is, my guys fitted the plane with a new carpet bombing system. Instead of a single bomb, you can now drop a chain. Just make sure you have several targets lined up beneath the plane before releasing, so we don't waste ammo.
Oh, I won't waste any. If that alarm's anything to go by, I've been spotted. And that's a hit! Like dominoes!
All of them? Great, man!
I repeat, toast!
Nice! Let's see them run guns with no transport.
All of them.
That's not the news I was hoping for. So head back to the base.
If only we spend as much time trafficking as we do bombing traffickers.
Yeah, I thought that was capitalism, my friend. 10% business, 90% putting other people out of business.
How many of these fuckers are there? Never had to work so hard for a monopoly in my life.
Son ratos, hermano. They're always multiplying.
What? You ever get the feeling we might be understaffed? Me, you, and an antique airplane.
That's called efficiency, Trevor.
That's called something, man.
I'm lost. Can you give me a ride home, please?
Sure thing. I love hitchhikers.
I live out at Catfish View, Mount Gordo, by the lighthouse. It's very isolated. Am I glad you came along? I was out hiking and got lost. I've been trying to flag down a car for over an hour.
Why didn't you just call someone to come pick you up?
I couldn't get a signal on my cell, and I don't really have anyone to call, not since Mama passed. She was very hard on me, but how I loved her. I have her hair in my backpack.
Okay. What?
The days get long out at that house all alone. I don't get many visitors anymore. The gardener used to come on Fridays till he got real sick and fell off that cliff. Oh, well, you know how they like to talk. But now, it's just me, living on soup. Soup I make from old soup. Soup after soup after soup. I have to get out of there sometimes and clear my head. Those damn birds, always singing no matter how many times I poison them. Bird soup. Soup with bird. Birds with soup. Every night I think I found peace, but then morning comes and with it another fresh hell. I come up here to escape them and they're still singing, taunting me. No, the house hasn't been the same since Mama passed. Most days I just work on my project so I can be rich and have all the gentleman callers I want, like a real lady, sipping on tea on a porch. You know, I love working with rubber, burning it, tasting it. You've got shoes, you've got feet, am I right? Hello? Clothy cloth ears, are you listening? You've got shoes, you've got feet, am I right?
I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
But what about shoes that look like feet?
Oh, you mean toe shoes?
Yes, shoes that look like feet. That's what I just said. Shoes that look like feet. Shoes that look like feet. Feet that have shoes on them that are feet.
Because, you know, you can buy those already.
No, you can't, Mr. Silly Pants. How can you buy them already if I haven't made them already? Dummy dum-dums. I like you. You're silly. The gardener was silly. He got sick. Folk talk.
You sure you're okay?
Are you okay? Because this guy who picked me up the other week wasn't okay. He choked to death on his own hand.
Yeah, okay, it's official. You're crazy.
Crazy Maisie sitting on a daisy. Well, what are you gonna do? Spank me? Shave me? Lock me in the cellar with a spider called Molly Foster? Dress me up as a boy and make me drink through a little pink straw? Because you can. Mama oftentimes would. Don't pick your scars. Stop eating soil. Where's your pony, little girl? I'm Johnny now. The pony's dead. I hate you! I love you! Will you be my daddy?
And this?
This is it, thank you. Here's my number, will you call me sometime? I get so lonely out here all by myself. I love you.
Stir, you piece of shit! Me!
report of an armed car hijack. Units respond to it.
me a break. That was close! Ooh. Whoa, whoa!
So I'll finish that one. Try to see if I can get through all the trials, and I'm gonna come up with a topic on the way. Something like that. Airport flyby. Sounds good. Topic. I'm gonna come up with a topic. It's gonna happen. Shit. Shit. Okay, so talk about stuff. Think about things. What I want to talk about. What are the reasons for independent thought? It's a question that, because we initiate ourselves and other people. Altitude, yeah. We initiate ourselves in any thought pattern, and we initiate each other most of the time. Whenever we're thinking about stuff, I don't know. We think about or at least we'd like to think about things that make us feel happy, I guess. Things that make us feel comfortable, I guess. I don't know what changes exactly that thought, but from being comfortable to being shit, messed up. Son of a bitch. I kept holding down the acceleration button and I did not realize that it was supposed to let it go. think that there's a big reason behind wanting to know a certain part of yourself and wanting to realize where you feel comfortable at. It's like you like the furniture a certain way. It's because you're used to it being a certain way, or you're used to it being a certain son of a bitch. I fucked up. I forgot again about letting go of that acceleration button. Alright, yeah, wanting to know about yourself in a certain sense. Wanting to know your past, wanting to know the reasons for your past. Wanting to know how comfortable you are in a given situation that calls for a comfort zone that has a broad range. Son of a bitch. I thought I could just tap it and just go back off again. It's not how planes work, I guess. Damn it. And also there's like C4 explosives trapped. That's how this game works sometimes. It's like there's C4 explosives strapped onto the bottom of it, because there's no way that a plane breaking apart would explode like that unless it actually, like this prop plane would never do that unless it was running into another plane. This prop plane is like a stunt plane that does smoke and a whole bunch of other different stuff. Like, it doesn't do anything much other than that. See, like that right there, that could have done that. But I was going too fast, probably. Shit. I'm amazing. I did it. Amazing. Amazing. I haven't finished it, but hopefully I'll finish it. What? You fucking dumb. It sucks, man. I think that most of us don't realize the reasons for wanting to feel comfortable, and the reasons, I don't know, just there's just a part of us, I guess, that wants it for the time that we're there, because we feel as though we don't have any control over a certain situation. It's like when in older times, in like the 50s and 60s, people would decorate their house in a certain way. They decorate, people, men, women, stuff like that. They decorate things they like men would go with earthy tones, women would go with like red or pink or something like that, and mostly it was something that was marketed to them at the same time. So it was things that they liked, and things that they thought they liked. It was before anyone had an idea that there were such things as marketability, I guess, or marketed strategies toward a certain age group. And I'm amazing. Whee! Altitude finished. I got bronze. So what did I get? Yes. I like to think that I feel comfortable in some ways. I like to think that I feel comfortable and in most situations, I guess. Most normal situations, I think. There are some things that some people get used to that that they never come back from. That their minds never come back from. There are big reasons why people don't big reasons why people don't put a price tag on what they find comfortable. They think that it's priceless, or it's like that whole commercial. It's like something. This is $20, and this is $35. Beating people senseless with ads. Priceless. So many people want to make you feel comfortable. So many people want your stuff. They want to make you feel like you're catered to. You're a branch of want, or you're what's the word? Your kind of media is catered to in a certain sense of the word. And what most people don't get about it, what most people don't actually get about it, shit. What most people don't get about it is there are actual things made for contradictions. Like, there are actual marketing schemes made for you to believe that you're contradicting the norm, when in actuality you're doing something that is a human regularity, basically. you're thinking that you're going against the tide, and literally there's millions and millions of people who are doing the exact same thing as you. I don't choose to say that I'm like some dude who says news, or I'm not. I rant about shit that makes me angry or makes me laugh. That's all I do. That's all I want to do. I just want to play video games and rant about stuff that makes me feel either comfortable, uncomfortable, things like that. It's fun to me. I think it's fun. And I think that more people do it, the more people that do it, the more people are going to feel comfortable with themselves and realize that if they really and realize that through a certain amount of therapy, there is a big amount of trust that happens in your brain, and you start to realize that your thoughts aren't just something to react to or something to like they're not just something to be a it's like thinking that there is a there's a Vincent van Gogh and a person who finds themselves they think so fast. People think so fast, and they don't give themselves credit for it at all. People think so quickly, and they don't let the and this is making me so nervous because I'm sweating, but it's okay. People think so quickly, and I give them props. Like, there are so many people out there that have so many talents, and there are also so many people that are out there that punish themselves and think that they'll never create something. They'll never make something that they're proud of. It has a lot to do with what you're comfortable with, though. It has a lot to do with the things that you're comfortable with in a marketplace where people, I guess they're not really insensitive, I guess, but they're not trying to be insensitive. They're more trying to be ironic. And, it's hard to be ironic, though, when there's not a lot of examples readily available for people to actually see. It's hard to say that you're ironic whenever you're seeing something, but that thing you have is the only reference you're making. It's like, you can say that you're ironic, you can say you're doing something ironically, or with some sort of sarcasm, but within that realm, there is no way to understand where you stand as a person. Before you become sarcastic or ironic, there is kind of like it's like going into what you're going to do what you're going in to do when you get the job before you've ever filled out the application. It's like telling people your aspirations and goals before you tell them how much experience you've had. Everyone has aspirations and goals. Everyone wants to make it, wants to do something important, and they think that being that something that is a part of that importance is important to them. But also realizing that it's important to someone else, where does that differ? Where does where does Where do the signs of what you're saying differ? What is about you is being sarcastic against whatever palette you've already shown. Being able to tell someone about something that is funny, that happened, is funny and is a little bit of talent. But telling someone the sky is blue, but being able to make them laugh about it, that's more talent than anything. Telling someone that there are certain parts of being able to teach someone through a certain comedy or a certain aspect of comedy or an aspect of anything is extremely important. Is not only was there a certain aspect of people or a flock of people who were able to teach people through comedy and through absurdity, I guess, and not just through that kind of absurdity. People are able to see that there is there's a true realism in what today's life is. There are a lot of people who believe that other people are just negative, and that's the reason why they don't come out and say something about something. There are people who insinuate that there is if you're not a part of the problem, or if you're not a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem. There are also certain people that decide where a certain opinion lies. And those are all, in some ways, marketing tactics to get people to think about or to know what you're about. To know exactly how to market to you later on in life. There are so many ways to be able to market to people and to be able to tell people about certain marketing schemes. But that in itself is a way to be able to fixate on some person's beliefs that hasn't participated in what they call society. And that it's not bad. It's not bad or anything like that to be known by society. But it's bad to completely and utterly be controlled by it. Because humans themselves make up society, not the other way around. Society doesn't make up humans. People decide, and people should decide. Because the more we start to realize or think that society itself controls us, or that society itself controls what we should like and shouldn't like, or should do and shouldn't do, because innovation will happen in either form. I'm not saying that my views are completely conservative as a Republican nor a Democrat. I do believe that there have been like lied to about the way that they're supposed to be represented in a certain place. I also believe that if they're going to do the electoral college, then they need to stop just having Republican and Democratic people. They come up with stupid names and dumb little libertarians and stuff like that and say like, oh, we like guns. Guns, guns, guns. That's the reason for everything, is guns. We need guns. It's a sham. It's a sham of a republic. And I really, really think and believe that people should start being more active in their community. Not to be able to just give people an idea about who they are, but to be able to act in a certain way. I turned the radio off, sorry. I don't want any song being attributed to my political and or what's the word? I want to hit that freaking on a motorcycle. There we go.
Oh, I am so sorry. Shit, shit, shit.
I just parked it. That's tight.
That hurt.
I guess there are certain reasons why people, and I'm not saying that I believe in either side, because there's no side. There's a whole bunch of different representative things that people should really be thinking about. There are so many different parties that actually get up and start doing things for the office of presidency. If people would have actually started to look at other different parties, then there would be much more of a competitive thing. But then people would start to say that, oh, it's tearing apart our values as Democrats and what we identify as. Understandably so. Make the building bigger if you can't fit any more people in there. Understandably so, you should make the building bigger. If you can't fit that many representatives in there, make the building bigger. That's it. Don't burn it down. Make more jobs to be able to take it down and then build it again. Madonna was wrong. Not supposed to burn down any buildings. You're supposed to have jobs to do that so that people can have money. Stupid Madonna, jeez. And then spend that money. And I'd say there are so many different, it's the reason for bureaucracy, and the reason why when the reason why I think so many people don't realize that there are, that when you start focusing on one certain part of an economy, and the reasons, it's like people themselves decide what kind of government they want.
That was close.
They set out and try to fix a government, but then within those realms, they kill people. And when they kill people, they expect to be heard again. They expect and then think that no one knows about them killing people. Like Monsanto, for example. Or any government affiliate that thinks that it's okay to actually hold hostage a person's life to be able to get something done. And in some ways, people are just still doing it today. And I really think that if people came up with a better realization about what inferences and what kind of republic we really should have. And yes, I will have to wait. Because people themselves don't really think that there should be any republic. People sometimes believe that they should be controlled by two sides, and those two sides should come up with a wonderful squad of teams or whatever, and then everyone should be completely okay with that. And then that thing should be able to what's the word? That thing should be able to, or those people should be able to control and see what other government affiliates or laws as they see fit. And that in itself is a socialist regime. Two socialist regimes. We basically, it's like, I don't get it. sometimes I don't get it when it's like, oh man, there are so many different reasons why thinking like other countries is a bad thing. Like trying to say that if there's an example about other countries in our world is just so bad, because there are so many different things that actually went wrong in other countries that people really should be noticing.
I have eyes on the target.
Things that people really don't understand. They really don't get it. I'm not saying that there's some sort of revolution happening or some sort of thing that people don't understand. It's just like, I'm saying that there's a thing that people don't understand. I'm saying that there's a thing that people don't understand within politics that they don't get. They don't get truly, and like within a certain figurative mess, they themselves think that that you shouldn't focus all of your political things on, and that firefighters can't wait to get paid, or maybe get a huger retirement bonus. I'm talking about issues that actually make sense in New Orleans right now. The fact that people aren't getting paid, and the fact that people themselves aren't trying to do anything about it. They're trying to just not even put it underneath the rug, acting like it isn't even there. The fact that people don't understand that there used to be a volunteer firefighter service, and this shit never caught on fire unless somebody set it on fire by accident or other reason. People really need to understand that it's a better thing to realize that it's a better thing to realize your goals and realize that they need fixing and converting, and converting into something new, and a project into something that's different. It's better to keep the ball rolling and keep the essence of something that you believe is alive, or believe is something there. Realize that there is innovation everywhere, and that we need to start investing in innovation. Because if that isn't going to happen, then we're not gonna survive down here. We're not going to. It's gonna be fucking gators and shit, and just fucking a whole bunch of different things like that. That are gonna think that we're gonna feed them, and if they, because imagine a generation of gators they get fed, and then a generation of gators, because animals are like this. They see a different pattern when they're young. They see a pattern. When they're eggs, it imprints onto their young. So there'll be a bunch of gators literally around the city. They'll be waiting for food. They'll be waiting to get fed, because like the old gators did. That's just one aspect that's literally going to go absolutely insane once a generation of animals breeds. And once that generation of animals breed, they change. And when they change, they get closer and closer in the city. They get closer and closer into our storm drains. And the colder it gets, the more dense the air gets. When the air gets dense, things rust less, but the sewers will have more water in them. And that's what I'm saying. So the French Quarter will be infested with gators. Once again, because it friggin' happens all the time, because the animals migrate in certain areas, and when they migrate back and forth to certain areas, they move like further south because of the way that it's getting cold. All animals love warmth, no matter if they're cold-blooded or warm-blooded. They like it because it's a variation in temperature, no matter who they're used to being or getting temperature from. That's the reason. Animals like varying temperatures, no matter if they're cold-blooded or warm-blooded. That's the reason why you don't see gators in Canada. in the tundra of Canada. So, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to introduce is the fact that people really need to start understanding and getting a grip on their own environment. They need to stop building those houses out in the brush, because they're going to start to get a bunch of gators on their lawns. It's going to be like Florida, because that's what happens when things change. It's what happens when things get colder. It's like when it gets cold, cockroaches come inside, right? When it gets colder, cockroaches come inside. So, invariably, as it gets colder in a certain environment, gators move. Animals migrate. The way that our environment is changing, and the way that we need to stop spraying for chemicals, because it's killing our entire city agriculture, and also runoff is killing those local farms sometimes. There are so many things that we actually need to get into our heads that is the real thing going on, and not the thing that people need to stop laundering money or doing stupid fucking shit. There are so many reasons why people need to get ready and actually need to start doing stuff that makes sense. Not saying stupid shit on the radio and saying dumb stuff when it's not actually happening to get people paranoid, because it's annoying as shit and it makes no sense. And when people are actually attuned to actually what's going on around them and attuned to what's going on in nature, and actually see the animals like dying in front of them, they're like, wow, something needs to be done about this. And if it's not getting done, then animals aren't evolving, and people themselves don't realize that that's the last of them sometimes. In that certain area, that's the last of them. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. Yeah. They have breeding groups basically that go through a certain area, that are through a certain area. And that's also good to make bike trails through nature as well, because it keeps those animals migrating. It keeps them fit. It keeps them able to ward off predators, because it'll keep them alive. It's good, and it's good for the environment. Not motorcycle trails, obviously, but bike trails themselves, because it keeps those animals moving. And there is no invariable way that an animal itself will jump out in front of a car unless it feels as though it's in an emergency situation. Like it can't breathe the air on one side of the road, so it tries to jump on the other side of the road. Or it feels a sense of the ground itself as through its vibrations through a bunch of cars going way too fucking fast down a road. A whole bunch of shit, man. There's a whole bunch of shit that people don't get, and a whole bunch of stuff that people don't understand, because they don't get the thought of thinking like that. They don't get the thought of, they never got taught it when they were younger, and they have to realize that it's stuff you gotta learn about nature, about the world around us. It's the world. It's not just people in our city going from town to town and acting like, oh, this is the way that the world works. Money makes the world go round. I'm a man, blah, blah, blah. It's dumb. Realize that there are animals out there that live in Siberia, that live in like cold tundras, And when those animals evolve because of no one being able to go there, there will be more different kinds of animals. Also, animals incest all the time. It's really bad. But they do it out of emergency. Because they're going extinct sometimes, in groups. Their breeding group goes extinct because people hunt them, like deers. Does will not be able to be attracted to deers anymore because of the invariable killing of just deers. There will be a huge number of does, and they themselves will evolve to get pregnant from does. Because animals can adapt. Because they're not fucking stupid. They think they're stupid. But they're not. Because people think they're stupid sometimes. Because I think I'm stupid sometimes. There are so many reasons why people should understand the world around them and the place they sit in the world. No matter what it is, no matter where they are, no matter how they are, no matter what their accent is, no matter what their culture is, no matter what they believe their culture is, believe in nature and learn it. Because it will change, and once it changes, you'll be like, oh, it changed because blah, 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 blah. And so many other cars and so many other things. No one can tell me that global warming is happening and it getting so cold in the winters. It's a tilt. It's the tilt and the slowing down of our own planet. It's the reason why people themselves are trying to come up with a plan to be able to procreate off-site, as in off-planet. And they're trying to come up with artificial light sources and things like that because they know that things are slowing down. Not only from whatever Big Bang there was with our planet and our solar system, because we're the only Big Bang that happened in our solar system. Everything else is invariably moving away. They think that it all happened at the same time, but I think that it happened at different times because people are fucking stupid. When you think you're stupid for a long time, you're stupid. Shit. Shit. There are real things to be afraid of, other than the amount of stupid shit that goes on in the frickin' Congress. Make it bigger. Therefore, more people, frickin' Exotic Joe, what's his name? That exotic dude? The fucking, what's his name? The good dude who like trains tigers and shit? Can't be much worse than fucking Trump right now, or Obama, seeing as how they both went back on their word. Both of them went back on their word. Both of them did. It was annoying. It was both, and every single president has had and been represented by companies since a whole bunch of things, so they shouldn't have felt really bad about it when Clinton was. It was just she was the one who was completely public about all of it. And that's the only reason why, is because it sets a bad example when people are public about the companies that they're run by, or that they represent. And also it sets people's eyes, wavering eyes, who want to look into what the company is about and how the company is, and then that in itself triggers more jobs. But understandably, those jobs are only being created because people are looking into the company, not because of any growth or any sustained growth. In order to be able to really use sustained growth or any of that stuff inside of a company, I don't know, it comes back down to stuff you're comfortable with and things you feel comfortable about. I don't know. Just be good at what you feel comfortable with. Because the more you feel, the more you're good at that, the more you feel good about that situation, the more you realize certain goals, the more you're able to understand the realization of things that are happening. And I know that I'm not going to get anybody from like this unless I'm actually going to employ someone who, or actually take the notes of an actual psychiatrist and then pay them, because I have to pay them in order to get them as a researcher. And also, I like burping because it makes me feel natural. Makes me feel like I'm not formally talking to anyone.